Tulum in crisis, tourism in decline, restricted beaches, and a collapsing real estate market. Tulum Curo. After years of explosive growth and international fame as a bohemian luxury destination, Tulum is now facing a deep crisis. Residents, business owners, and tourism service providers have announced that on Sunday, August 31st, they will block access to the Tulum Archaeological Zone in protest against the breach of agreements with Grupo Mundo Maya, GAFSACOMM, the company that manages the Jaguar Park. The frustration stems from the fact that, although residents and accredited citizens are supposed to have free access on paper, in practice, many report restrictions and excessive charges that limit their right to enjoy the beaches and natural areas. We are tired of this situation that does not benefit the community, the workers, or the small businesses that survive on tourism, the organizers expressed in community chats. Mayor Diego Castañón Trejo also joined the discontent. If you live in one of the world's top tourist destinations and they don't let you into the beach, it's only logical to protest. I have to look out for the citizens. It's my responsibility. Of course, I will seek dialogue with the company, but if they don't listen, we have to unite. Residents. Testimonies confirm that the problem is not just beach access, but also a domino effect that has severely hurt tourism and employment. A local boating cooperative member explained that since the Jaguar Park project began, activity in marine tours has plummeted. Before, 18 boats were working in the cooperative. Now only 5 go out daily. Operations fell to 20% or 30%. It's not enough to pay employees. We're doing very badly. Another tourism service provider criticized the mistreatment of visitors and unjustified charges. A driver from Playa del Carmen came to drop off tourists, and they wanted to charge him just for entering to drop them off. The tourists ended up leaving for a cenote instead. Before, they would walk out of the archaeological zone and head toward restaurants, taxis, and small businesses. Today, many of those are going bankrupt. On social media, a third resident highlighted the contradictions in the local market. Abusive prices for basic services while tourism is in decline. A taco in the hotel zone costs 75 pesos. Renting a commercial space goes from 25,000 pesos to 100,000 pesos a month. They'd rather leave them empty than lower the price. National tourists won't be convinced with rates like that. This resident also pointed to the real estate crisis, where residential rents have reached inaccessible levels. Rental examples range from simple rooms with tin roofs, a fan, and no furniture, priced at 4,000 pesos, to medium-sized studios at 4,500 pesos. These prices, aimed primarily at workers earning close to the minimum wage, are disproportionate when compared to the quality of the spaces. In contrast, commercial premises in busy areas can exceed 100,000 pesos per month. During the pandemic, Tulum experienced an unprecedented boom. In 2020 and 2021, more than 1,000 vertical housing units were sold per quarter, attracting foreign investors and digital nomads. The boom resulted in over 400 active projects and average prices of 4.5 million pesos, taken off $243,000 per property. Today, the picture is very different. Sales of new housing have dropped between 32% and 35%, with more than 10,000 units now on resale. Vacation rental occupancy has steadily declined and remains below 50%. According to consultancy firm Tinsa, in 2025, average prices for horizontal residences hover around 5.3 million pesos, taken off $286,000, while apartments average 5 million pesos, taken off $270,000. The price hike, however, contrasts with an oversaturated market with low turnover. The price per square meter rose from 27,701 pesos, taken off $1,497 in 2021, to 42,863 pesos, taken off $2,316 in 2025 for houses, and from 64,621 pesos, taken off $3,493 to 74,729 pesos, taken off $4,041 for apartments. At the same time, home sizes have shrunk from 125 square meters in 2015 to just 82 square meters in 2024. Thus, while average monthly rent went from 25,897 pesos, taken off $400 US dollar in 2020, to 25,509 pesos, taken off 1,380 US dollars in 2024. The habitable space continues to shrink. Collapsed services and soaring prices. The growth was not matched by improvements in infrastructure. In much of the municipality, there is no sewage system, forcing the use of septic tanks that contaminate underground rivers and reach the sea. The electrical grid is deficient and the main road collapses during peak seasons. To these problems is added the sargassum, which every year blankets the beaches and affects both the ecosystem and the visitor experience. For many specialists, this factor is now more decisive in Tulum's loss of tourist appeal than in other destinations, such as Los Cabos or Riviera Nayarit, which do not face the phenomenon with the same intensity. The rising cost of daily life also weighs heavily. Testimonies point to abuses in transportation and the restaurant sector. Taxis, for example, charge up to 50 pesos for trips of less than 2 kilometers, a steep price for local residents. However, for tourists, the same short rides can cost between $30 and $60. Similarly, some restaurants have set prices that are uncompetitive compared to other Caribbean destinations, creating negative perceptions among both visitors and locals. An uncertain future. Tulum's slowdown is not due only to internal factors. The economy and politics of the United States, its main source of tourists and real estate investment, also play a role. The decline in digital nomads, along with global tensions, has slowed the flow of capital into vacation rental developments. While Cancun maintains relative stability and Playa del Carmen is beginning to regain momentum, Tulum faces a critical juncture. A contracting real estate market, LA local economy hurt by access restrictions, heterosexuals stretched to their limits, growing social discontent. For residents, the situation is summed up in a phrase often repeated in testimonies. We've killed the goose that laid the golden eggs. The challenge, they agree, is not to stop investment or reject environmental conservation, but rather to strike a balance that restores what once set this destination apart: free beaches, fair prices, and a community that thrives from tourism without being excluded from it.